All right, sports fans. Tonight we've got a challenge. I had a commenter wanting to know, could I come up with a logical or combination switch to operate his lights? He wants position 0 to be off. In other words, a 3-position switch where 0 is off, 1 is a nav light, and 2 is a landing light. If the switch is in position 1, then turn on the landing light if the gear and the flaps are active. And I'm going to take that as either or. If the switch is 0, then the landing light should not turn on with gear and flaps either. All right, so let's see. First thing I did, I tried a couple of things, but it didn't take me long. So the first thing is a combo switch. We've got a landing light switch that I created that uses switch A or switch D, which is the flaps. Now you could make this the flight mode, since I use flight modes for my flaps because I have my toga switch thing. But if you lower the gear, then the landing light switch is on. If you lower the flaps 1 or 2 notches, the landing light switch is on. If the gear is up and the flaps are up, the light switch is off. Pretty simple. Then I went to logical switch, and I used switch C and that landing light switch that I created. So switch C is in position 0, and so the output is 0, and I told it to move the channel to minus 100%. And then if we move the light switch C to 1, now the output is 0 in position 1, and so the navigation lights are on. And if I lower the flaps, it goes to position 2, which is 100%, because now the landing light should be on. If I raise the flaps, they turn back off because it goes back to nav light. In other words, 0, all the lights are off. 1 is the nav lights are on, and 2, the nav lights and the landing light are on. So if I lower the gear, it goes to 2, which is landing lights on. And then if I raise the gear and the flaps are raised, and I put switch C in position 2 all the way down, now the landing light is back on, and it doesn't matter what I do with the gear or the flaps, the landing lights stay on until I go back to the center position, and now we've got just running lights and no landing light. So interesting deal, but not too hard to do. So if you go look at the channel setup, so channel assign, and we pick a channel that's not used, and I don't have one. I'll use the reverse channel, and I'll change this to the light switch. So now when I go back to the monitor and the switch C is in 0, and so we're at minus 100%, and the gear and the flaps are both up. If I go to the middle position, now the running lights are on, nav lights are on, and if I go to position 2 all the way down, now the landing lights are on in addition to the navigation lights. So if I go back to the middle position, the landing lights are off. If I lower the flaps, they're back on, and that's full flaps. If I raise the flaps and lower the gear, the landing light comes on. So I think that's what he wanted. Not too difficult. So there you go. Hope that helps y'all out. Later.